women are seen as superior to men. Women are seen as superior to men.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and this is Num Num. Today we are going to talk about Chinese pastoral feminism. I think most of my audiences are probably familiar with the concept of feminism. There are different waves of feminism, and I think we are currently either on the third wave feminism or the fourth, depends on who you are talking to. Anyways, these different waves are all taken into a Western context. The concept got changed in China, and some scholars agree with that there were three stages of feminism taking place in China, and they were New Culture Movement, the Maoist period of feminism, and the 1995 Conference on Women in Beijing. And different movements have their own progresses and their issues, but those are not things I will be focusing on today. Today, I will be talking about a specific manifestation, pastoral feminism. So, what is pastoral feminism? The supposedly neutral word pastoral here is actually used in a derogatory way. The phrase pastoral feminism does not mean feminism taking place in the field. However, it is a derivation of Chinese pastoral dog, which is a specific type of dog breed normally found in East Asia or rural area in China. So the word pastoral in pastoral feminism is used to critique people who misinterpret or misunderstand what feminism is. It is mostly used by a group of men and some women to weaponize against this specific group of feminists who are perceived unsophisticated. Where the term started is unclear anymore, but it is mostly used by the internet users in China, especially some male users who claim to feel suppressed. They get some female supporters because the general understanding of pastoral feminism is that it is a specific extreme version of feminism. The stigma about pastoral feminism is that it is about equal rights but not equal responsibility. Western feminists, especially the first and the second wave feminists, face the same critique. I included a Bill Burr clip to illustrate the critique pastoral feminists are facing in China now.
You know, like I dated this girl one time. She was like really into like women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me, she goes, "Okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, "I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay." Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, "Let's go, people, let's go, let's go." So that's how I look at it. No, it's a $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like "Rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi." You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like, "Yes, he does have a knife." Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? "Well, at least let the women and children go." Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault?
There are different types of complaints about pastoral feminism, and I think two of them are worth discussing. And the first one is anti-pastoralers think pastoral feminism apply double standards. For anti-pastoralers, they think that pastoral feminists only want the benefits that men have, but not the hard-working part. Regardless of whether Chinese men are actually working hard than Chinese women, anti-pastoralers use Caili culture to prove their point. Caili culture, which is also called the bride's price, is a marital culture that has existed in China for thousands of years. The evolution of Caili culture varies in different time periods in China, but the simplified version of Caili in contemporary China is that people, especially in small cities and the rural areas, still have the expectations that the potential groom and his family should purchase the apartment or houses, or at least pay for the down payment of the properties for the marrying couple. It is partially caused by the imbalanced population in between two sexes, in which the population of men is larger than women in China now. It is a reflection of sexism culture in China, which is that people normally prefer boys over girls. Because there are less women in China now, men start having trouble to find people they want to marry. When they do, this Caili culture has financially exhausted many families who have males of marriageable age. It deepens the disparage of men towards the pastoral feminists because men think that if women demands the equal rights, they should be able to share their part of financial pressure as well. For anti-pastoralists, pastoral feminists not only demand money and apartments because of the tradition, but they want to abandon the traditional expectation of doing house labor, chores, or taking care of children as well. So anti-pastoralists do not think it is fair. Another argument anti-pastoralists have is that they think pastoral feminists use their gender to weaponize against men. For the past years, anti-pastoralists have collected a pile of statements they think are from pastoral feminism, and they are upset about it. And I selected a couple of them, and I will read it out loud for you guys. First, if you don't have to give birth to children, you have to blank. You can feel whatever you want to. Second, as a man, it's your responsibility to make as much money as you could, and because I'm a woman, I am free to spend however much I want. That's what all feminism is about. Third, I am a princess, so I deserve to have a man to buy me X square meter big of houses and X brand of car and spend X amount of money on me. Fourth, I would not do any chores because that's anti-feminism, but a good man should be able to pay for everything I need. Those are a couple extreme statements I selected because anti-pastoralists are upset about these sayings. They started to participate in this internet fight, and they started saying things like, why there is princess illness but no prince illness? Because no one spoils men. The most useful common sense in the world is you cannot talk to women about reasons, and surprisingly, women are proud of it. I've noticed that women like to use pregnancy to demand why men have to pay $30,000 for marriage, because women can give birth. Why men have to buy apartments and cars, because women can give birth. Then I had the realization that getting married and giving birth to children are secondary to women. Using their uterus to exchange money and house is their final goal. Okay, I'm a bad translator, but you got the point. The internet war between anti-pastoralists and pastoral feminism, and even which extend to like wars between women and men, are pretty rigid in China right now. Claims about pastoral feminism can be found everywhere on the internet. But before we discuss how it got blasted on the internet, I think a necessary question to discuss is, Is pastoral feminism real? Let's take a moment and investigate those two arguments anti-pastoralists provided. Tele culture in itself does not represent the socio-economic status of women in China at all. If there is a double standard across the society, that is, men are still benefiting much more from the system than women in China now. Not only men are still getting paid and getting promoted much higher than women, some job positions are reserved exclusively for men to apply, and promotions stop taking women in many companies and governments after a point. Women face the struggle of getting fired after they get pregnant and gave birth. Don't get me started about the labor law. The millennial and Gen Z generations grow up with a more convenient delivery system and shopping system where financially independent women can get help with chores and houseworks from some service companies compared with the boomers and Gen X. Women, especially in big cities, are still sharing the pressure from paying off the loans of properties and funding their children the best educational system and working exhaustive jobs at the same time. Again, not saying men are not doing these works. There is just no clear evidence to suggest that women cease to do chores and ask men to do it, where the inequality women have to deal with is still everyday life, from getting sexually harassed to losing jobs for random reasons. The other thing anti-pastoralists like to do is to accumulate hate speeches from pastoral feminism. But it is actually very rare to hear those statements in the reality, aka daily lives. These statements are actually not directly from normal living women, but couple influencers who commercialize feminism. Some internet influencers and celebrities in China started finding out that by writing articles and making videos to put down men can attract many followers and subscribers. This is a direct result of consumerism, and these people write articles of simping after high-powered men. I translated a couple of the titles of these articles below, and I'll read it out loud. If your girlfriend is mean to you, you should be thankful because she even loves you. How much money you could spend to become a goddess? The men I love have to be pure. I want to call the police right after I receive my boyfriend's gift. These articles target on lower income females in China who want to bump up their social classes through marriage. The reasons why women fantasizing this marriage is largely affected by many Korean dramas and Chinese dramas, which depict a lot of Cinderella stories. When turning on the TV and social media, only people on screens for audiences are both rich, beautiful, and having substantial income. It escalated expectation of the experiences of women and the wealth of men. The result is a small group of women are brainwashed and think that average men don't deserve them. These facts have brought back the outdated tradition. Gender expectations and feminism as a social topic have become more and more polarized, which further prove that the gender equality is far from being achieved in China. The misconstrued understandings of feminism soon got popularized and spread it on the internet. The commercialized feminism by influencers and celebrities make pastoral feminism soon become a default thinking in a lot of anti-pastoralists' mind whenever feminism got brought up. The gender war has started, and the real feminism has been ironically marginalized from the discourses. The anti-pastoralists claim that they feel suppressed because of the pastoral feminism or just feminism in general. Are their feelings based on the actual facts of the structure and the system of the society, or just their imagination? My straightforward answer is that it's not based on the facts. Are they suppressed? I would like to believe so, but they are suppressed by the system and the traditional culture. The pressure does not come from feminism, but comes from both external macho expectations of the roles of men in the society and the internal fear of privilege getting taken away. In order to become a manly man, anti-pastoralists are expected to use wealth and social status to prove it. They are anxious and angry about it, but instead of analyzing where their pressure comes from, they direct their anger at pastoral feminists because they think it's women's fault for asking too much. Shocking, right? Everything's always can be reduced to women's fault. They are unaware of the real reasons which make them feel choked, aka system. The system creates the expectations. The system wants them to be macho men, and the system tells them what successful man means. They hate women instead, and when they realize feminism itself is a challenge to the patriarchy system and social norms, which has existed for thousands of years, they started fearing that equality requires taking their privilege and things that they have been taken for granted, such as money, social status, classes, away. They are very aware of the benefit they gain from the patriarchy system. Therefore, they are not against system, they take their rage on women. When women who were used to even being perceived and considered also as a type of property started to become self-aware and refuse to be seen and gazed at, that's powerful. Anti-pastoralists are not used to these powers, which are not coming from themselves. Women cease to depend on men, and the environment where men used to brag about the type of woman they have has been changing. And this perpetuates more fear and anxiety for anti-pastoralists. Whether pastoral feminism is a real social phenomenon or not is still debatable. Internet power can be grasped by international organizations, and people who want to twist the concept of feminism can create a place to provoke gender war and benefit from it. This is why I think we should be more careful about using labels and try to be more patient with each other when we're trying to deliver messages. I think that could be helpful to avoid this polarized culture and polarized conversations in general. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.